sales. I was in the auto industry and it was the funnest time of my life for 8 years. I learned so many different things about people. I learned psychology. I learned how to rip people off. I learned how not to rip them off. I learned what a roach meant. I learned what a get me done was. I learned what upside down was. Man, look at the terminology I get to use. And it's all about you. Okay? I was one of the first people to do target marketing for a BDC system for a dealer group in Utah. It was one of the biggest dealer groups in Utah. How did we do that? Well, I went to Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, and I said, hey guys, we're friends. You sell credit scores, we buy credit scores. Who in here knows that they sell credit scores? They sell credit scores. So I went to them and I said, I want a 570 to a 660 credit score. I want 10,000 of them. And I want 10,000 of them, you're going to send them a key with a flashy little thing that says, come in here, and you're going to get a free car with a 1 in a million chance with an insurance waiver. It's a pretty easy gig. Okay? So 10,000 people between the credit scores of a 570 and a 660 come in. Why did I target that in range? Why did I target it?
Because nobody wants to give them a car and you're going to be able to figure out how
You are a get me done, buddy. Come in and get me done. That's what they say. Boss, I gotta get me done. Gotta get me done? Yeah, okay, we'll get you done. Right? And let me show you how they get you done. So there's something in the car business called a Foursquare. And I have car dealers and I call them out on it. First of all, if you're 25 years old and you buy a $30,000 car, you just cost yourself $1.2 million in retirement. Give it to Daniel, he'll tell you it's true. Yep. I did an article called The Money Pit Radio. I got so many angry dealers. How dare you? This is not true. Actually, my math was wrong. I had a mathematician come out and he said it was 2.1, not 1.2. I like it when I'm on the low end. So here's a Foursquare, and it's designed for a down payment. It's designed for, actually, okay, let me just do it the right way if I'm going to do it. Price, trade-in, down payment. Okay, I just know this so well. And you're going to have payment. This is worth billions of dollars, and I'm not joking. I've trained so many people on the Foursquare, it's ridiculous. And here's what you need to know about the Foursquare. None of it matters. They're going to try to get you to focus on payment. All right, I got a great deal for you. So if we get you at $598, I said I wanted to be at $400. If we get you at $598, right, you're upside down in trade, you had some problems with your credit. If we get you at $598, you'll go ahead and take the deal because that's better than $600, right? Right? And they're just going to try to get, no, I said $400. No, okay, so if I get you at $499, you're going to be okay with that, right? No, I said, and what you have is you have a newbie as a salesperson. And a newbie is required to say verbatim what his sales manager says, otherwise he gets fired and blackballed from every dealership in town because you're a newbie and you haven't earned the ranks. And I know this because I was a newbie. So I go up to the manager and I said, hey, he didn't like that payment manager. He said, all right, you're going to go hit him $5 less. You going to punch me in the face? You're going to hit him at $5 less. I got you at $490. I'm going to leave. Don't leave. He's going to leave. What do I say? All right, last chance. $433. Take it or leave it. I'm done with this guy. Boss says he's done with you. Take it or leave it. I got a great deal. And I'm going to tell everybody what a great deal I got losing $1.2 million or 2.1 in my retirement. Congratulations. This is the only thing that matters is your interest rate. This is your universal language. It doesn't matter if you're in South America. It doesn't matter if you're in Africa. It doesn't matter where you are a percentage rate. How do I know? Because it costs $400,000 to raise a kid from 0 to 18 years old. You think they do that for free? You think you're the only one doing it? Oh no. The government provides daycare in the form of school, whatever you want to call it. Okay, Common Core, I don't know. I got to teach my kids what 1 + 1 means. I don't know why, but I do. Okay? And all I know is the government wants their payback on that. And they're going to get it. They already know the number. I designed a system called Quantum Financial Analytics. I can tell you what your shopping and buying habits are 5 years in advance. I can tell you when you're going to have your next downturn 3 years in advance. And I can be within 6 months. Why? You have patterns. I'm sorry to tell you that. You got a lot of patterns. And everything goes into that. And car salespeople know this. So what they know is all you care about is the payment. Why? How many people in here think they're going to have a car payment the rest of their life? Man, in my town, it's everybody. I'm going to have one. I love my truck. Got a lot to learn. Okay? And I used to too. You're talking about a guy who used to buy a car every 3 months. I was in the car business. This is what we did. Okay? So when you're talking about payment, you always talk about interest rate. Why do you talk about interest rate if you're going to pay cash? Mike, I pay cash for everything. Why? What do you mean why? Well, last time I checked, if you have $50,000 and you're going to buy a $50,000 truck, you can go see an insurance agent. Insurance agent will teach you the rule of 72. Rule of 72 is going to teach you that that $50,000 in 7 years is going to be worth $100,000. I wonder what your truck's going to be worth in 7 years. 10, if it's a diesel. Right? So he's going to tell you, okay, so this is at a modest 7 to 14% with the big G word, guaranteed, because it's an insurance product. Give it Daniel, he'll tell you the truth. Okay? And now all of a sudden you've turned a liability into an asset. You're at 0% for 72 months. Why are you giving up 7 to 14% of your money when everybody else is making 7 to 14% off of you? Why would you pay cash when you have access to 0% anything? Why wouldn't you put it on a 0% credit card and roll it over if you've always had good credit and you're not worried about money? Why wouldn't you show how to do, which we'll get to in a minute, a triple insurance plan where all you do is borrow from your own insurance policies and I teach you how to be your own bank? Right? Daniel can't say this stuff because he'll get his license yanked away. I don't got a license. Take it. I don't even have books and CDs to sell. Take it. Okay? So inside of this, the only thing that you have to know that matters in anything that you buy, and I end the cars, is going to be the interest rate. Otherwise, you're going to get a car salesman who literally comes out to you, says, all right, the price of the vehicle is $49,995. We're going to give you, see, for your trade, we're going to give you $15,000 for your trade, even though it books at $19,000. We're going to ask for $10,000 down, even though you said you had no $1,000 down. And your payment's going to be $1,400 a month at 36 months. None of that looks good.
No.
We call this bringing you down off the ceiling. If I can get you so upset about these numbers, everybody deserves a second chance. Human psychology. So when I come back, okay, you're going to like this. Boss says you're going to like this. All right? That's not where you want to be. But we sure worked hard for you. This is sounding eerily familiar. And then I'm going to tell you the back end of this, and you're not going to like me after this. Okay? Because this is called protecting your poverty. Right? So then they're going to come back with the third pencil. It's called the third. We got terms for everything. It's like a carnival. It's a third pencil. Right? We're going to third pencil this person. What does that mean? All right. See, this is how messy your sheet looks too, if you remember.
Yeah.
That's it, man. No dealership in town is going to do that for you. Get out of here if you don't take it. It's a third pencil. You should know what that means. Right? So what do? Okay. I really like the way it smells. For 6 months. And you just lost $20,000 for the new car smell. Last time I checked at the washing place, they give that to you for free. Thanks for washing your car. Here's a new car smell. There, I just saved you $50,000. Okay? What do I drive? A 1981 truck. It's so ugly, my wife hates it. Hates it. It's like single cab, and I got 5 kids. I did it on purpose, okay? 1 kid at a time. There's no way 2 seatbelts. I got to obey the law, honey. She gets so mad at me, right? Why did I buy it? Because it was the year I was born. I'm just so simple, it's ridiculous. But I also know that when somebody hit it, I didn't care. I also know that it'll go anywhere that I want to go, and I can throw trash in the back of it.
Hello.
And I have no payment on it. And guess what? If I want to replace a motor, it'll probably cost me $1,500 with a mechanic who wants $800. And they'll get a junkyard. Look, this is not hard stuff. Because if I put that money in another account, this does not happen to me. Let me show you all the numbers behind what really happened to you on your good deal. It doesn't matter how good it was. The average deal is $2,000, even when you get the best deal that you can possibly get, unless the vehicle has lots of problems and the dealer's like, we gotta get rid of that thing. And that happens a lot. I've done it. So my free seminars are making up for all the things that I did in the car business, so people don't egg me. So the problem is when you get into an industry, you really don't know the ins and outs of it. You're just doing what you're told. You don't know the effects until somebody comes in to trade their car. You don't know the effects until you start to learn the language of money, which is what I call it. And when you learn the language of money, you're no longer protecting your poverty because you just found out that, yeah, you had credit issues. You actually got bought at 12.99, but they sold you at 15.99. And on a $30,000 vehicle, I don't know, that's about $4,000, maybe a little bit less that they just made. They get that right away, by the way, immediately when that funds. Not to mention that when they sold it to you for $44,995, whether it's used or new, there's always $2,000 to $4,000 to play with, even when you're invoiced, because there's back-end money. Oh yeah, back-end money. We got that too, right? And you have a whole bunch of guys going, I like the back end, and everybody thinks they're being perverted. They're talking about back-end money. It's back-end money. So what I know for a fact is if they are selling it to you at invoice, they've got $1,500 to $2,500 back end, which I'm fine with. They can make their money. But if it's a used car, oh man. Here's what you've got to do on a used car. You look up NADA. Don't let them give you that Kelly Blue Book crud. It is a hawk. Okay? Kelly Blue Book is how they get you approved. All right, the car's only worth 18. Kelly Blue Book says it's 24. What banks use Kelly Blue Book? They just took you from Experian to TransUnion. We're just trying to shop the best deal. Give us an hour. Come back, take it, go to lunch. You'll love it. Look up NADA. $2,000 back of wholesale at least. At least. Why? Because I can go to Manheim Auction. I can go to any auction in the United States of America and pick up any vehicle I want about $2,000 back. Why? Because of rental cars. Thank you, rental car company. I can get anything. You want a Dodge Ram? You can get a Dodge Ram. Want an Escalade? You can get an Escalade. Those are $10,000 back of book. Sometimes $20,000 back of book. Why? Who's going to buy an $80,000 used Escalade? I want the new one. I'm going to pay them $85,000, right? NADA is what you look up, and you just price it $2,000 back of book. And the nicer the vehicle is, the more you got to pay. I overpay for my vehicles. Why? Because if it runs good, it still smells good, and somebody took care of it, and it's an old man vehicle, I'm all over it. I'll pay $2,000 extra. I'm not going to have a problem with it. No problem. Looks bad, smells bad, don't know what to do with it. I want $3,000 under. You're not going to sell this to anybody. What died in there? And that's a real story in the car business, okay? So before I get on to retirement and I open up for questions and we end this is a true story. Carnival in the car business. My second book is called A Peddler's Tale. That's what I call myself because I turned down an oil field job for $100,000 a year to become a peddler, is what my father-in-law called me. You're going to be nothing but a peddler. I said, okay, I'm going to be a peddler. So my book's called A Peddler's Tale, and we were doing this promotion and sheep riding. We were doing sheep riding as a promotion. We had a sheep rodeo. We invited all the kids, and the sheep got out. It's 100 degrees. I don't know if you know what happens to sheep in 100 degrees. It's not pretty, okay? So literally you have salesmen going all over this small town, running and grabbing up sheep, right? And trying to put them back in the pen. Well, the sheep are dying because they're overheating because they're running around in 100-degree weather.
And they have wool.
That's right. So the Navajo man comes up to me and he says, this is dying and I've got to have it right now. And I'm like, what do you mean you got to have it? He says, I've got to have it right now. Can I have it? I said, well, my manager's not here. He says, no, can I have it? I said, yeah, you can have it. Goes to the trunk of his car, pulls out a butcher set. I'm not making this stuff up. Pulls out a butcher set and butchers it right in front of me. I'm watching it. I'm just sitting there going, this guy just butchered a sheep on my lot. And then he goes to the back to the wash bay and he bleeds it out in our wash bay where we wash your cars. And then he pulls his car up and he throws it in there after he skins it, blood everywhere, right? And then he goes back to his chapter house to make mutton out of it. Well, he comes back a couple days later. I'm like, dude, I'm traumatized, man. What are you doing? I said, you just threw a dead carcass in the trunk of your Chevy Cavalier and drove off. Please explain this to me. He said, Mike, out on the reservation, he says, we don't have a lot. He says, sometimes the chapter house is the only food some people will get in 2 or 3 days. He said, so the meat goes bad as soon as the lamb dies. And as soon as the lamb dies, we can't use the meat. So I had to kill it, and I had to get it 200 miles to my chapter house before it spoiled. And he bought 2 cars that day with a $100,000 check that he got for uranium money. Okay? So I never judge a book by its cover. Especially never thought that a Navajo man who was about 70 years old driving a Chevy Cavalier with a butcher set in the back of it would have hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank account, but we all get surprised, right? It's just some of the stuff that come from the car business. Okay, so let's end this with retirement. Mike, how can you help me? I've already got my credit fixed out. I've already got my debt under control, and I've got everything that I need. Great. Got everything you need. Do you have long-term care? What's long-term care? What's your will and your trust look like? I just had somebody die 3 weeks ago and everything went to the state and they got to divvy it all up. I don't know how that feels with you, but it didn't sit well with me considering they've been my client for 8 years and I've been telling them for 8 years to get a will and a trust done. Right? What can a paid off mortgage do for me? And I'm going to talk about that one here in a second, okay, because this one's fun. I can show you the short version. Now again, any of the advice that I give you, you should do a lot of research on. A lot of research. Google. It's the best research in the world. But when we're talking about investments and money, who in here likes to spend other people's money? Yeah. I thought I'd get more out of the ladies on that one.
It's because they brought their husbands.
I don't spend your money. Nice pair of shoes. All right. So let's just say I did this last week. Actually, I do about one of these a week. I have somebody with $200,000 of equity or a paid off house. Okay? You're low on debt, you've got all your credit figured out, fine, right? So I like to do what's called a triple insurance policy. Now, Daniel has a totally different name for it. I like triple insurance policy because it sounds cooler than what he calls it, because it's an acronym, and I don't know what that means, okay? So I'm going to go with the $200,000 triple insurance policy where I'm going to tell you to take out half of your equity. Yes, you'll have a mortgage, but you have no debt. So this shouldn't be a problem, right? You shouldn't do this if you're in debt. If you do that, you should take 50 grand and pay off your debt. But then what you're going to do is you're going to wrap this in to an insurance policy. Why? Because according to the rule of 72, what's going to happen to this money? In 7 years, it's going to be $200,000. In 14 years, it's going to be $400,000. Well, I'm not teaching Daniel anything he doesn't know, and I'm not teaching some people in here anything they don't know, but if I did this, maybe I will. Maybe you'll see something different. Maybe we're going to put $100,000 into an insurance policy, for money. I'm going to borrow $80,000. Why would I do that? Because they said I could. So I'm going to borrow $80,000. What am I going to do? I'm going to put that into another one that's at $60,000. Why? Because they said I could. So I'm going to. This is all to save money. What's that?
You need another zero. No,
On the 80.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Sell, not spell. That includes numbers. Thank you very much. It's always the ginger that corrects me. I'm telling you. My wife would be proud. So $60,000. Why am I going to do this? Because I'm going to take out another 40 and I'm going to stash this in a bank. And what am I going to do with that 40? Well, I'm going to tell Daniel to auto deduct it out of my bank account. Why? Because I've got a $60,000 payment to make on this policy right here that I am collecting 14 to 28% on now, because when you borrow from an insurance policy, it's not like a bank account. You don't go from 100,000 down to 50. They keep it at $100,000, which is what you put in. So that literally means that if you borrow 50, they're keeping it at 100, you're now doubling your interest rate. So now you're not getting 28% down here, you're getting close to 50. You're getting close to 28% on this one, and you're collecting 14% on this one. And I don't need to tell you to pull out your calculators to see what 14 years on each one of those investments would be. But I can tell you right now that by the time you get to that little bottom one of $60,000, it's just as much, worth just as much as the one at the top, if not more. Why? Because you've tripled your interest. And what can you use this money for? Well, let's just say an emergency comes up and you can't finish your program. You can just borrow against it again. You don't even need to go to the bank. You don't have to have a credit score. The money's already in there. And it was all with your mortgage that you could never liquidate before somebody showed you how to do this. So how do you do that? You get the mortgage company. I got $200,000. Great. What's your credit score? I got a 700 credit score. Perfect. Let's just do that. Chances are you should go to a 15-year mortgage, and that's what will save you $120,000.
Right.
That's simple math, right? Plus you get to put things in 3 different investments. So you just went from a business owner or an employee with just a 401k that you don't trust to having 3 different business models that can make you money. And
What
you're just
kind
doing
of,
it.
is that a life insurance policy?
It can be life insurance policy. You're going to get with that guy right back there, and he can show you about 5 different policies. I'm not the fun guy. So what he can do is he can sit you down. Do you like life insurance? No. Okay, this is your option. Well, I don't like that option either. Okay, we're going to go back to life insurance and let me explain it to you. It's very important for you to have that conversation because I make this look easy. Assets are not easy. They're just as bad as liabilities. Okay? You have to put just as much time into your credit score and everything else that you have to fix it as you do a liability. You got to spend just as much time keeping up with your insurance policies once or twice a year as you do with your personal finances. If you have a property and you're not doing anything and it deteriorates, is it really worth any money? So if you have an investment and you're not engaged in it, like investors would have us believe, just give it to me, I'll take care of it. Sorry, we went bankrupt. Come see me next year, right? You invite me out for dinner? No? Okay. Right? And that's the cycle that we go through. And next year, we're not going to do anything because we're so mad at everybody. The credit guy took advantage of us. The credit guy took, or the debt guy took advantage of us. The lawyer, the accountant. I haven't gotten started on what accountants can do for you. That's a totally different seminar. But I'm going to tell you right now, everybody in this room can increase their household income anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000 or more with a home-based business or a legitimate full licensed business running out of their home. How do I know that? You got any bookkeepers or accountants in here? Right? How long has that home-based business tax code been around? Forever. Older than most of them. 70s, 60s. So if you're older than that, then right around that age, sorry I dated you, but that's how long that's been around. So if you don't have a home-based business and you make lots of money and you hate the government, sell candles. The government has the tax code set up to where if you lose, you win. Am I right? You can lose money to win as long as you're being legitimate. You can make more money legitimate than you do cheating the government. You can have a babysitter thing at your house, and I've done this before, where you only watch 2 or 3 kids that are your aunt's kids or your sister's kids. You can make that into a home-based business with a business license of $35, and you don't have to go through a lot of hoops because you don't have over 6 kids. And boom, you just got all the tax write-offs. Your mortgage, your cell phone, your internet, your direct TV, your food, all of these things now open themselves up for a tax write-off. Well, Mike, I already do that. Why don't you have 2? Well, I've got 2. Why don't I have 3? Government never said how many businesses you could have. So all you got to do is take a different highlighter to your bank statements and to your credit card statements. You got to make sure that you're spending the money where you say you're spending the money, and you design your, trust me, you get a $25,000 check, you learn really quickly. I had a guy who never wrote off anything on his massage parlor business for 2 years. 2 years. $70,000 check for the government. You think he learned? Oh yeah. You know what it cost him? $1,000 for me. By the way, if I make you $70,000, will you give me 1,000? Yes? 15 minutes. That's all you got to do. You just made $1,000 in 15 minutes. That's all you got to do, man. You're going to say this to the government, right? Protecting your poverty. It's not my fault you didn't know. Okay? And I'm going to give you the advice for free. So whenever you contact my company, I have several companies. MyNetSum is my financial company. Protecting Your Poverty is a seminar company that's designed to do nothing but give you information at free or low cost. This is my last free seminar. Okay? Why? Because my next seminars get very detailed. And they show you the exact steps on how to do everything that I'm talking about. And the people that sign up for these 12 or 13 different seminars that we're setting up, every single one of them different, real estate person, financial person, accounting person, attorney person, cybersecurity person, all the things that are costing you money and making you lose money, we got them. They're going to come in here and they're going to give this information for you so you don't have to hire them. That's pretty cool. Okay? And that's what these seminars are about, because I'm tired of people charging me and giving me false promises, and I'm sorry, screwing me over. They did. Every single one of them. I can't tell you how many different professions, and I know that's happened to people in here too, even MLMs. I've got something for them too, okay? I was part of one of the biggest MLM blow-ups with prepaid legal. It was huge, okay? And it was all their fault. And if you think they're the only company that does it and you're in an MLM, you got another thing coming in, you better have a plan. It's a way of life, it's business, and last time I checked, business is war. It really is. There's no friends. And there's no friends in your finances. So if you've got somebody trying to take $1, here's one question. Can you make me 3? No, I can't. Then what am I hiring you for? Your accountant comes back to you and says you owe $3,000 on your taxes. You should ask what an amendment will do for you. I'm sorry, I had a home-based business and I never wrote it off anything on taxes. If I pay an extra $400, will you do my books for me? Why, yes, I will. Right? Anything in here from a professional in here that is not true? We have professionals in here, right? My last CPA, he didn't believe me. I flipped them 80 people at $500 a pop. Why? Those $500 made them $5,000 to $15,000. Are you going to pay $500 to get that much money? Duh. Right? So with that being said, anytime there's a Protecting Your Poverty coming up in Colorado Springs, there's going to be 3 different levels. The first level is just on a monthly level, where we're going to have a different subject every month of the year. So you're going to pick the subject that you want. We're going to have educational courses that give back to the community. So we're going to have 300-400 people at a time in an educational course where we teach you all 13 of the subjects at once. We're going to have homeless people. I was homeless. We're going to have veterans come in. We're going to have orphans come in. We're going to have high school students come in. We're going to have junior high school students come in. And we'll eventually even have a program for elementary schools. Why? Because protecting your poverty is not just about money, it's about emotions. And our money controls our emotions. And we have people in here that are bullying. We have Tom here, and he has a message about bullying that's going to change the world, I believe. And it goes into the message that protecting your poverty is holding information that could hurt somebody else. You know things that could help everybody in this room. And there are people in here that could use your help, and because they're not willing to say, I need help, you'll never get the chance. Same thing with Daniel back there, this $100,000 rollover. Same thing with long-term care. My dad didn't have a VA. My dad is worth $20 million to the government. How do I know? All the surgeries, all the long-term care that he's had to have because of the Vietnam War. I know what his numbers are. He's a number, and you are too. And you may not know Alzheimer's, you may not know what's in your stars, but some's coming, and you're not prepared for it. And all it takes is one quick phone call to that guy or this gal or this other person over here, and almost all of your financial situations can go away. I had a guy crying today because he was worried that his wife was going to leave him. You know what it took to fix him? 15 minutes of telling him that it was okay, and 5 minutes of looking at his credit score and said, this is all you have to do, this, 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 this. It'll take care of the student loans, it'll refinance your car, your credit's not near as bad as you thought it would, we'll have this done in about 2 or 3 days. Wife heard it, fight was over. Very simple, you gotta speak up. So with that being said, you're going to get with Beanie in the back or Rachel. They're in charge of the seminars. If you want any more information, you're going to get with me. If you have any information about the financial side of things, I've got Daniel in the back. If you have any information as far as multi-level marketing goes, we have Brenda and Mike here. If you have anything that goes as far as Legal Shield goes, what we like to do is we like to get you to the right person. We get you to the right place and ask the right questions, because I got to tell you, I'm not the professional. I'm just the guy who picked the professionals' brains, and I picked apart their pay plans and their commission plans, and now I'm giving the information to you so you can do the same thing and quit getting taken advantage of. So if you want to be a part of Protecting Your Poverty, there's opportunities that are available to you. You're going to want to get with us after the program, and those are for professionals. And that's for you to conduct these seminars, hold these seminars, get your message out, and have a large audience. We're growing very, very quickly. If you want more information as a client side on how we can help you, my fees are very, very simple. I have a free consultation. I find out what your situation is. I tell you how you can fix it for free. I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to tell you 3 steps that you can fix any financial situation that you're running into, whether it's taxes, student loans, it doesn't matter what it is. It only takes me 3 steps to fix it. Dare you to try me on it. And if I can't do that, you don't hire me. You think I'm a joke. Okay? And we move on with life, and I'll go find the next person. But I've never had that happen. Because the last time I checked, everybody needs something. And it may not be a money issue, it may be a family issue, it may be a religious or spiritual issue, it may be something else in your life, and the last time I checked, all that's attached to money. So if you want a different lifestyle, you just got to find out the dollar figure. If you want a different job, you just got to figure out what it takes for you to get away from the arcs. Last time I checked, you make $100,000. You have a $100,000 skill set. You didn't get paid that just to do whatever you're doing now. So you just need to take those skills somewhere else and invest in yourself. So reach out to Beanie, reach out to Rachel. If you have any questions, I'll be here. There's lots of professionals that are going to be here. Just seek them out. They're all part of the network. I ask that you stay in the network. Ask them if they're a part of Protecting Your Poverty. Here's why. I don't make any money off these seminars. I don't have anything to sell you. I don't get anything out of this. These seminars are for those professionals who actually care about you. I've looked at their pay plans. I've looked at their philosophy. I've looked at what they're doing, and I've matched it with my own. And if you don't like me, it doesn't matter. But if you do, then you're going to find out that Daniel has got some of the cheapest fees in town, and he's an independent. So he can do things that your Prudential or your Mass Mutual broker can't do. And that's important for you to know. Okay? Same thing with the real estate broker. Same thing with the mortgage broker. Same thing with the bookkeepers and the accountants that are in here. If they're in the Protecting Your Poverty network, I basically looked at them and I've said, Okay, do you make sure that you separate the nurse expenses from the home-based business expenses? Because last time the CPA didn't, it cost them $7,000. I'm not okay with that, are you? No. And you've seen that, right? You need to seek out those people. If you want income opportunities, watch what happens in social media next week. There's income opportunities, and there's big ones, and they're about to pay out huge, okay? Why? I don't care about money. I care about energy, your energy into the program, your energy inside of your own finances. And if you're doing your stuff by yourself, that's fine with me. So with that being said, thank you for coming to a financial seminar on a Tuesday night. Everybody get some good information out of this? Yeah? Any questions? Anybody who needs to go, it's getting late, people got jobs. So if you need to go, go. If you have questions, we're going to take about 10, 15 minutes of questions. And then we're going to end it, and we're going to have to get with Beanie and everybody else after that. And if you're interested in the opportunity, I'm taking a few people who are already involved. We're going to go out and get something to eat and drink, and we're going to talk about the opportunity. So with that being said, get out of here if you need to get out of here. Ask questions if you got questions.